Hello, right, so I'm doing another Rucking video. It's not going to be a long one today, or at least I don't intend it to be, because it's nippy, really cold. I mean, I've got this anorak thing on that's, alright, it's an anorak, but when I first bought it, I thought, oh, it's a light coat, it'll keep me nice and loose. It doesn't, you're boiling inside it, it's like wearing a sauna. But I feel a bit warm wearing this, but it's not quite doing the trick just yet. I need to get a bit warmer. But where we're going today, we're going to somewhere called the Ford. Now this is a mix of an urban ruck and a bit of a normal, you know, in the woods kind of ruck. It's a little forest in the middle of a town, slap bang next to Sheffield. Now I'm just going to bring you back in 2 seconds because I've got one of them roads to cross. Great, I'm across. Nice bloke actually, just let me past. Usually they're a bit on that road. I mean, when I drive down I'm a bit, no, wait till turn. It was an old country road. Well, I say an old country road, it was a country road-ish in the middle of a estate. So I'll just quickly show you. Right, so we're going around this bend here. We're following where that white car's just gone, not the bus. And then that is also a bit of an old country road. Well, it's a country road as well, but it's more like a cut through. So this road used to be national speed limit as well. They were both national speed limit not so long back, but they brought them down. Runners. I'm not filming. So yeah, down this one, it used to be national speed limit. Some people treat it like it's national speed limit still. They don't stick to 40. There were a guy that overtook me, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he was going 60. Like, he was pipping at me, and I'm like, I'm doing dead on 40, and he's pipping at me to go faster, and I'm like, it's 40, and then he overtakes, speeds up to 60, gets to where we are now. In fact, where we are now is a 30. Where we currently walk in until we get to signs, and he was doing 60 across there, and then he was doing 6. He got past the traffic lights, and he was doing 60 up there and all, or thereabouts. He didn't slow down for no. But yeah, I mean, you get muppets like that don't understand rules at road until they hit someone, and then, oh, it's the pedestrian's fault, when actually no, it's your fault because you're a fucktarded driver. I said fucktarded, you can't cancel me for that one. So, yeah, not a clue what that laugh were. Not a clue. But, you know, if you're going to be an idiot driver, you know, and drive like an idiot, you deserve getting called these names, let's be honest. I mean, if you did hit someone at that speed, there is another name I could call you. Murderer. Yeah, I'm very outspoken when it comes to safe driving. You drive safely, you don't drive at all. Interesting. This is part of the Acorn Walk. I did wonder how it got round. Like when you come out of Hinkley Park, where do you go? Not Hinkley Park, sorry. Grays Park. I did often wonder when you come out of Grays Park, I'll re-say that aspect, I'm leaving it in, but I'll re-say it. I did often wonder when you come out of Grays Park what direction you're heading, because it's not really clear at that point on the Acorn Walk, but I've just seen the acorn symbol there, so I'd go that direction, which is interesting because because halfway through the walk I just nip home and have a cuppa and then finish it. So interesting. I'll let Bob know that. You can get quite a bit of a pub route on here. There's quite a few pubs when you get into the Ridgeway. I'm not sure if it's a village or a town. I think it's a village. Could be a township. But if you start back all the way back there, like you're going towards when you get to town end where tram stops are, start at Red Lion, Pig and Whistle, come a bit further down here, follow it along, go to Phoenix. I do love going to Phoenix actually, it's where I had my mum's wake. It's a lovely pub. more people drink coffee than beer in there. And then you go into the village itself and there's loads of other pubs. And there's also lots of really nice expensive houses. I'd literally give an arm and a leg to have one of these houses. Woo, lovely. I've noticed quite a few runners. I've not filmed them because, well, if I would anyone, I wouldn't want someone filming me either. But it's used for quite a lot of running routes. I mean, I did do a run on here once with a friend back when it was national speed limit, when you couldn't shift because of these bushes. I mean, they're cut back now, but then they were like into the road, you couldn't see the path. And you had a bus doing like 55 miles an hour because they're limited to 55, I believe. It was doing about 55 anyway. And literally, I had to, well, I couldn't stop in time for the momentum before you saw the twig because it was like, it blended in really nice. So you had to run on the road. I was like, oh crap, I can't get off the road because of the bushes. So I had to like jump into the bushes, get quite a few scratches just so I didn't get squashed by a bus. So today is a ruck, not a hike. I've got weights in my bag. I've only got a 5 kilo one though, because this is like building up. But I do have essentials such as water, some toffee popcorn, just in case I need, you know, some food, some energy. I mean, there's shops and pubs, so I can always get there. But when I'm in the woodlands itself, if I need anything like that, I've got a snack and I've got a can of Tango, like a sugary orange drink, just in case. Well, that's all I'm taking with me on that, and that's all you really need on these. That's all you really need is a weight you can manage, something just in case you need something to eat and something to drink just in case, and water. Always remember to bring some bloody water. Now, this road, I think it's about that way. Well, it's a bit like that way anyway, but it could be a bit further on. Can't recall seeing it, but I do believe I've walked past it. Is the sign that says, "Welcome to the city of Sheffield." Because once we're at the opposite side of that sign, we're no longer in Sheffield. We're in the village or town of Ridgeway, which is part of Derbyshire. But if you go all the way to the other end of this road, like from point A to point B, if you get to the end, there's another sign saying, "Welcome to the city of Sheffield," and then you're in Mosborough. So quite interesting because it still comes under as a Sheffield postcode, but it belongs to Derbyshire and Chesterfield. And the other thing around this area that you may notice when filming are very nice cars, or a combination of, or it's a nice new car that's very basic, and then you've got a fancy car next to it. The people that live out here are rich. Oh, that's always sad to see. I always find that sad to see, but yeah, it's also heartwarming in the sense that, you know, a family's done that for someone they love, you know, to memorize, you know, for memories. Sorry, I'm losing ability to talk, it's a bit windy. But yeah, as I was saying, you'll see like, alright, a nice new car, and then there's a fantastic car next to it. So for example, you'll get like one of the new, is it Kia Sportage? I'm not very good with cars myself, I'll be honest. But you get like one of the nice Kia 4x4 looking things, and then next to it it'll be a Porsche. So they've got their, oh, this is the car that we take just for ruin, and then this is the car for best. So it's kind of one of them areas, because people around here are very rich, very, very rich. And yeah, I find the chair thing very heartwarming because I've recently gone through a bereavement myself, so it's nice to see how other people deal with that, you know, memorise the love, what the, I can't get the word out, I do apologise, you know, what they do for the family member. You know, like when I've recently gone through my bereavement with my mother, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I still don't. You know, taking every day as it comes. A lot of the stuff and the advice that you get from like the bereavement and everything, and the customer service that you get from people, which people have been fantastic, you know, that I've been dealing with. But when they tell you stuff, they're just speaking at you. I know that's not their intention, and they are doing the best, but it's just words that are bouncing off you. Like it's very difficult to comprehend. Like everyone says, oh yeah, they can deal with this, that and the other, or you believe you can deal with it, until it actually happens, and then you just don't know what's what. Simple as that. You just don't know what's what. There's no other way to describe it. You'll get people saying, oh, you can talk to us if there's anything that you can do. How? You know? That's all I've got to say. But when I see something like that, someone's actually gone, right, I found a way, I can get through this. And I do like to see that, for not just for the people that they've lost, but for them themselves, because that makes me think, alright, there is another end to this, I can get through it. So, up here to the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a lovely pub inside. It's where I had my mum's wake. It's very nice inside, very lovely. More people in there, from my personal point of view from watching when I were in there, because I went in a few times before the wake, and I think I've been in afterwards. No, yeah, that's a lie, I haven't been in afterwards yet. I might nip in actually, because it is lovely inside. They do some cracking food. It's a bit different to other Green King pubs. Like, the beer selection's different, and the food menu is different. But it could be where it's situated. But yeah, so it's a lovely pub inside, and more people in this pub, I've noticed, drink coffee than beer. That's all I've got to say. So that's an unusual thing to me anyway. And there's plenty of parking, like just absolutely loads, like absolutely loads. However, the one thing that I will say that is probably needed for that pub and on this road is either a pelican crossing, puffin crossing, just a crossing, a zebra crossing, you know, because people don't stick to the speed limits. I mean, this part of the road is a 30 because of the residential and the pub, but people are going to be hammering up to 40, 50 because it were a national speed limit for that long. And I do genuinely think that there is a societal issue where they won't accept speed limits being changed for safety. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm talking shit. If I'm talking shit, tell me I'm talking shit. Leave a comment. Also like and subscribe. Thank you. I mean, just look how lovely the houses over there look. I don't know if I've got a very good angle of it here, but yeah. Phoenix Road. Other than the bus stop saying Derbyshire City Council, another way you can tell you're in Derbyshire is the signpost we just walked past that said Phoenix Road. They all tend to be in green, or in Chesterfield when I've seen them, they have been, or back in the motherland of Dronfield, it's always been green. So, yeah. Nice these houses look. I wish I were rich. Yeah, I wish I were rich and could afford houses like that. I bet the people that live here are like, oh, I'm so poor because I've got an expensive house. Oh, quite funny really, wasn't it? Irony. Right, we're gonna be turning now into Marsh Lane, which is, well, it's a massive steep road that takes you into the village. And when I say steep, I mean steep. Like, there's an F word I could chuck out there, but to amplify how steep it is, exaggerate it, but we wouldn't exaggerate it enough because it's steep. And this is only a little bit of the steepness now to get you warmed up for the drop. I remember driving up here once and thinking, is my car going to make it up? Because, well, it was struggling. It's that steep. So, now there's a field there. I'm not quite sure if I should. No, I'm not going to take a picture of it because I believe it's part of a school. That would be weird. There are another bus stop similar to that up the road. I didn't film it because there were people in it and I don't want people to feel harassed. Yeah. So you've got bus stops like this here, except from the one up there had the walls covered. So I do like the bus stops like this. I didn't appreciate them when I was younger and I lived out in Dronfield. Queen's Head pub. Never been in that one, not sure if it's open yet. On the way back I might nip in and have a drink, I don't know. I'll decide on the way back. But yeah. So when I lived out in Dronfield I didn't really appreciate like stuff like that, like that bus stop, like looking at it's quite unique. I mean, it might not be unique in an area that's similar to this, but it's quite unique to me. From what I'm used to, because I'm used to the blue Sheffield ones, you know, the council pop-up, South Yorkshire Travel, horrible blue things. So, to me that's now unique and quite familiar at the same time. So, I have a found appreciation. So yeah, as I said, it's quite a pub route on here. So if you go back into the Sheffield area, start at Red Lion for example, good at Pig and Whistle, then have a wander down to Phoenix, from Phoenix at Queen's Head, then to here we've got something called the Swan Inn. Never been in there either. You go there, you could go there, and then I know at the very bottom where we're walking today, the Ford, where we're walking today, the Ford, little walk around bit. There's a pub there called Bridge. I'm not sure if it's Bridging or just Bridge. I have been before. It's right at the very bottom of the steep drop that we're about to come to. So we'll come down a steep bit to go up a little bit to go down even further. The walk back is going to be fun. Closer shot to the Swan Inn. Actually looks like a nice little boozer. Family friendly since 1989. Oh, my birthday. It's very nice. Looks proper old fashioned actually. Even though it's only been a family establishment since 1989, probably in a pub a lot longer. So it's opening times. Look at that door. Right, nice door. Very good old fashioned features. Another fancy bus stop. Now, just walking through, I'm getting mixed because you've got really good old fashioned looking houses. They've got nice, no, they've got modern ones or council built ones. So, I mean, not to knock it down, it's just the contrast for the image that you're seeing. Here we are, this is that big drop-in road, the second drop. We've done the warm-up. I'm going to have to get myself into that side of the road somehow. Because the pub that I need where the entrance is to the Ford is that side of the road. I'm across. Watch me get down to the bottom and realise that I've got it wrong and it's on that side of the road. Talking about how nice the houses look, and you're probably thinking, well, why is that building? Because people live there, it'd be rude. I've got manners. But I did walk past the house a little earlier, just before the Swan pub, and as I said earlier, like, you know, they've got a normal car and then the big posh fancy car, their everyday car and the car best. This car, this house, had three cars. Had a Land Rover, they had a Mazda, one of the nice racing ones from like 2007 that all, you know, bigwigs used to have, which looks a bit old and battered now. And then they had one of the, you know, the very old-fashioned Jaguars where it used to have like all the wood interior, like the one on Shaun of the Dead that his stepdad has. One of them. And I was like, you have far too much money. Far too much. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just, can I drive your car, please? Just one of them. You can afford the insurance. There are a thing on the other side of the road that I've just noticed. I'm not sure if it's a community board or a notice board for a walk. Didn't know about that, but on the way back up, I'll try and have a look. I'll stay on this side of the road. Well, not this side of the road, that side of the road. So as I was saying about Rucking and whatnot, during an urban area, you can get nice views like what I'm getting today by staying on the path. I know somebody's like, oh, but that takes away all the adventure and the outdooriness. It's like, yeah, if you want that, find someone that does that. If you don't, I'm just advertising an alternative for you. Now, what I'm walking past at the minute is a farm. You can't see through bushes, obviously, but it's like a cow farm. I don't know, I try showing you through the bushes. But yeah, so nice farming area. Gotta say, just walking down this road and I'm knackered. Could you imagine living on here and having to walk up and down it every day? Just to get to the shops at the top. In fact, there weren't no shops, like shops back in Sheffield. But could you imagine walking up and down? You're knackering. Well, not going down, but you have buns of steel, that's what I'm trying to say. Buns of steel. Nearly there, I think. But it looks like there's even a bigger drop coming up. Like areas where you can turn off. I don't know, that behind me. Like, not sure where they are. All for another video, I suppose. Gentlemen, it looks like we are here. So, Ford, Ridgeway Moor. So the Ford that way, Ridgeway Moor that way. I'm not sure where that is. I mean, I've never been before, so I'm just winging it. Got a little sign there saying the Ford, please drive carefully. Now that's beautiful. That's beautiful to see. I don't know how it looks on camera to you, but to the actual human eye, that looks lovely. My music keeps turning on between filming, and it's like proper trance music. Do you know what? It proper fits the vibe that I'm feeling right now. Like that bliss feeling. Like that's what I'm feeling right now. The only trance music can make you feel. So walking up to the Bridge Inn, which is the starting point for the Ford walk, or at least I'm told. So I'm going to see how I get into the Ford. Apparently it's next to it, I just don't know where. So soon find out, bring you back when I do. Right, I just spoke to some blokes to get direction because I wasn't sure if I was to go follow the road all the way round, but they said where the pub is, there's a little gate. I'll film it you in a minute. You go through there and then you just follow this path right round the river. However, there's a lovely little pond here which is quite nice. That's nice. One of the gentlemen did say it was muddy, so you come round this bit, a little path there. Right nice so far. So we'll come to this bit here. Little entrance, little overstep. Oh yeah, go around it like a wizard, like me. And then you're on some good old muddy trails. Now they said to me it'll fork off, fork, F-O-R-K, not the U. I know it sounds the same with me. He said you follow the river. He goes, it'll split into a fork, and you go one way to Mosborough, one way to Eckington. So we're going to see what direction I go in. I'm just going to wing it as I do it.